Hello, this is Captain Chaudhari. Today I am going to speak about Colregs Rule 10 Traffic Separation Scheme. In the paragraph 8 says that these rules apply to the traffic separation scheme adopted by the organization, that is the IMO. It also says that these rules do not relieve any vessel, absolutely any vessel, of their obligations under any rule. That means let it be Rule 18, let it be Rule 19, let it be any of the steering and sailing rule, or any other rule for that matter. No vessel can take liberty of traffic separation scheme that they will not comply with the other rules while they are in traffic separation scheme. Now, there are a few very intricate and fine things which we must understand. Like in Rule 10, extensively the word practicable has been used. In fact, it has been used, I think, 6 times. And what is the meaning of practicable, we must understand. Practicable means a large extent, whatever is practicable for the ship without landing herself into extreme emergency. So the extent to which a ship can make an effort being practicable is slightly less than being possible. So in paragraph B, the rule says that so far as practicable, a vessel should keep clear of traffic separation line or separation zone. It also says that a vessel should normally join or leave a traffic separation scheme, traffic lane for that matter, at the termination. But when you are doing it from the sides, shall do it at as small an angle to the general direction of traffic flow as is practicable. Rule 10C says that a vessel shall, so far as practicable, avoid crossing a traffic separation scheme. But when obliged to do so, shall cross on a heading as nearly as practicable 90 degrees to the general direction of traffic flow, which means that when a vessel is crossing a lane, the other vessel must know that surely she is crossing the lane. You can't say that my speed was 6 knots and there was current of 4 knots, so I had to give a leeway of something like 50 degrees, so I was steering like that. No, whatever may be the current, whatever may be the cross drift, you need to cross the traffic lane at an angle 90 degrees to the general direction of traffic flow. The vessels which are using the traffic separation scheme, the vessels which are comfortably using the traffic separation scheme must always think, what is that other vessel going to do? For example, there is a vessel which is tending to overtake me, say from port side, and probably about a mile or 2 ahead on the starboard side there is a port. Who knows, this ship after overtaking might be wanting to cross the lane, and I'm following a traffic lane on the starboard side, right outside the traffic lane. Probably there is a ship which is coming down, and who knows, that ship might want to enter the port on the port side. Suddenly that vessel might cross ahead of me. So here, practicable means, like if I am a ship wanting to cross the traffic separation scheme, I would think in advance. Are there any ships which are following a lane at that moment? My crossing might trouble them. Of course, a crossing vessel does not have an obligation to not impede the passage, right? But the crossing vessel has responsibility under observance of good seamanship. The vessel should see when I am crossing, it does not trouble anybody, although it is not stated in the rule. But in the rules, it states that so far as practicable. Practicable means if the vessel can slow down, the vessel sees that, I might as well slow down, let this vessel pass off and then I will cross the lane. Or if there is enough space, the vessel might think of taking a circle or doing some other maneuver so that when she is crossing, she does not encounter any other vessel, right? So that is observance of good seamanship. That's why the word so far as practicable, right? But if obliged to do so, that means if there is no other option, there is no practical option left to keep waiting outside, or there is a port on the other side, and the vessel feels that it is not practicable for me to stay here, she should cross at an angle 90 degrees to the general direction of traffic flow. 10C goes on to say that the angle to the general direction of traffic flow should, as far as practicable, be close to 90 degrees. There are two other places where the word practicable is used. For example, a vessel shall, so far as practicable, avoid anchoring. So they've used the word practicable with avoid. So far as practicable, avoid anchoring the traffic separation scheme. And there is a vessel which is not using traffic separation scheme should positively imply. So she shall avoid the traffic separation scheme by a margin as wide as practicable. There are certain restrictions in respect of use of inshore traffic zone. A vessel shall not use inshore traffic zone if she can safely navigate within the adjacent traffic separation scheme. A vessel less than 20 meters in length, a sailing vessel or a fishing vessel, however, may use the inshore traffic zones. There are certain restrictions in respect of separation line, separation zone, etc. A vessel other than crossing vessel or a vessel that is entering or leaving a separation scheme shall normally not enter a separation zone or cross a traffic separation line, except in case of emergency to avoid immediate danger, or a vessel that wants to engage into fishing. This means that for a fishing vessel to engage into fishing, she may do it in the inshore traffic zones, or she may also do it in separation zone of a traffic separation scheme. Now they have very carefully drafted the words like a vessel that is using traffic separation scheme. Traffic separation scheme means overall traffic separation scheme, including separation lines, separation zone, inshore traffic zone, and of course the traffic lanes. But when they talk about a fishing vessel shall not impede the passage of a vessel, any vessel that is following a traffic lane. It does not talk about the separation scheme, following traffic lane, right? It does not talk about a vessel which is wanting to enter the traffic separation scheme. It does not talk about a vessel which is wanting to cross a traffic separation scheme, following a lane. Similarly, a vessel less than 20 meters in length or a fishing vessel shall not impede the safe passage of a power-driven vessel following the traffic lane. So please note the word following the traffic lane. That means if there is a vessel which is crossing and not following the traffic lane, then what happens? There is no requirement of not impeding the passage. That means the normal steering and sailing rules, that means rule 18, will apply. Similarly, if I am following a lane and there is a vessel ahead of me crossing from starboard to port, right? She has to observe good seamanship, but once she has started crossing and there is risk of collision, please note that she is a stand-on vessel and I am the give-way vessel. We can also think of a situation where a sailing vessel is following the lane and there is a fishing vessel which is engaged in fishing. There is this sailing vessel which is following the traffic lane. Fishing vessel shall not impede the passage of this sailing vessel. So in the paragraphs I and J, the terms which are used are the vessel following the lane. Whereas if you see the last two paragraphs where it talks about a vessel that is restricted in the ability to maneuver, when they are carrying out some functions in the traffic separation scheme which is related to the safety of navigation, or they are engaged in laying, servicing or picking up cables, submarine, etc. So these ships, so far as they are dealing with their activities, they are exempted from the following of the rules under traffic separation scheme.